Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Danielle, aka Stitcherista here on YouTube, and today is Wednesday, April 6th. And yeah, so it is about 10:45 a.m. here. My job starts today at 12. So what was nice about that is I had my ultrasound of my thyroid today, and I had that at 8:30. Well, I was supposed to have it at 8:30. Here's a little story with that. So in our area, there is an advanced place called Advanced Radiology, and I had no idea that there are two buildings and they're across the street from each other. So you know where this is going, right? Yeah. I was up pretty early this morning because I wanted to get some stuff done before I had to go to the appointment. So I was up at about, I want to say 6:45, something like that. And I left here at 8 o'clock thinking that was enough time, but it's very gloomy here and rainy. And our main highway, which is Route 100, it's like a parking lot. And I thought, oh God. So I got there at like 8:23. I check in, I sit down. They finally call me. Now they're busy in there, so they don't even call me until like 8:35, almost 8:40. And she says, Miss Jones, you are scheduled at the building across the street. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't even know there was one across the street. So luckily, because that's a pretty busy highway that this is on, but luckily there was like no traffic when I got in my car. So I went right across the street, got in there, and I said, there was only one other person in there when I got in there. And I said, I am so sorry. I went to the building across the street. She goes, no problem. It happens all the time. I guarantee you that happens all day long, because when I was coming out of the appointment, somebody was there that should have been at the other building. And I thought, oh boy, I blame myself though, because on the referral, it said the correct address. It's like, you know, the one building I went to was 200 and it said 100 on the referral. So I will know now to look. But yeah, the appointment went fine. It wasn't as unpleasant as I remembered, but I was tense the whole time. You know, they're pressing something on this. And what's really unfortunate is, you know, I came home and I talked to Bill. One of his coworkers, he said, just found out today that he has thyroid cancer, which is so unfortunate. He's, I think, a few years older than us. It runs in his family, though. His mother and his brother both had it. So that's awful. And I filed our taxes today. I mean, I've been a busy bee already. Yeah, filed our taxes today. I just wanted it done. So that's taken care of. And yesterday for work was hideousness. The guy, the witness, just told stories throughout the entire deposition that had nothing to do with the case. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, why aren't the attorneys stopping him? Because attorneys are hoping you're going to hang yourself. Yeah, you're going to say something you weren't supposed to say. It was brutal. I was done work by, it was just before 6, I think. Today, God willing, should be easier. Today is a case we've had many, many times. Tomorrow, we don't have a job on the calendar so far. And then Friday may be a difficult day. It is a case with an expert who is Indian. And that doesn't mean that he's going to have an accent. That doesn't mean that at all. I just messaged my boss, though, and said, just to make you aware, because we have had in the past people with, you know, technical depositions about like patent infringement and things like that. And sometimes these people are hard to understand. So I just wanted to make her aware. So yeah, we may not have anything tomorrow. If we don't, not a big deal, because we've worked all this week, and then Friday. And already, I can't believe it, already next Friday, we're celebrating Bill's birthday. Bill's birthday is Easter this year. time is just flying. I mean, we are almost already halfway through the month of April. Okay, so I picked out my fabric for my retreat piece. Even if I'm not done this piece that I'm working on, I'm not going to take it with me because it's in a Q-snap. I'm going to start a new piece there. And remember, I'm using that Color Variations, like the blue one. And I actually picked out Be Stitch Me's 18 count Aida in Vanilla Latte. Remember, I was going to do it on 20 count. No, I wasn't. I was going to do it on 14 count Aida in the printed Aida. But it's going to be too big. It's too big to fit on the junk journal page. So I'm not going to do that. So I went and picked new fabric. Plus, I'll be able to use one strand of thread. Yeah. So I did do some stitching last night. Let me show you. I got done the entire border on this side. So this is how long it is. So I think I'm going to come down here and stitch. There's a bird right here. I think I might do that. And then as I get him stitched, stitch some more of this border. Like really try to stitch the elements and then stitch some of the border so I don't have any problem with it matching up. And what's nice is that last night when I got to this part of the border down here, I turned the piece upside down so it was easier to reach. Instead of straining myself to reach my arm, you know, underneath all the way up here, I just turned it upside down, and as long as your stitches go in the same direction, it's not an issue. So that made it a lot easier to work on. And I kept my needle, I always keep my needle minder when I do that upside down too, so I know what's the right way. I mean, you can look at the pattern obviously and figure that out too, but oh, and someone had asked me if I picked out buttons. Not yet. I may even not use buttons. I really want to though. I have some ivory buttons coming in from Just Another Button Company, and that order shipped, so that is on its way here. I think I'm going to use the ivory buttons. We'll see when they get here, because I will show you guys that order. Okay. Talking point, and I know I have one. All right, let's see. Okay, there's a couple things I marked here yesterday. Okay, so someone had commented in one of the groups on Facebook and said, what do you all do when you're in a slump? I have started and stopped more things than I can count. Nothing seems exciting and doesn't hold my interest. I think we've talked about this before. What I do is I just give myself some grace. Like I said, I will put it away. I'll read some. I'll do some Sudoku. I'll do something different. Or I will set a timer. See, that usually gets me too. I'll set a timer for a few minutes or say, okay, I'm going to put in one length of thread. And usually then I'll go ahead and keep stitching. Or I will even peruse like the Facebook groups, because that usually will get me back into wanting to stitch. But there are a lot of people that said, if you're not finding it enjoyable, don't force yourself to do it. Yeah, you shouldn't force yourself to do anything like that. Okay. I do have some OMG moments. Here's one, and I've seen this one done in person. It's stunning. This is by Deborah. And I want to say this was like a kit or something. Look at that teddy bear. Look how detailed that is. That, a lot of stitching. Solid stitching. A lot of colors in that bear. It's gorgeous, right? I feel like Jill was working on that one. Maybe that's why it looked familiar to me. Okay, and then this person, this was so cool. They burned their cross stitch, the fabric, because they stitched a dragon blowing fire. So it kind of looked like the dragon blew off the edges of it. And how they did it is they used a butane lighter and a wet paper towel. They said, I picked which areas I wanted the most burn on and went at it with the butane lighter, and when the flame came alive, I let it do its thing for a few seconds, then tampered it out with the wet paper towel. They said burning aida kind of smells like marshmallow. Okay? And it's so cool looking. They did such a good job on it. Look at the edges. See how the edges are burnt? That's so awesome, like the dragon burned them with his fire. Absolutely love that. Be careful, obviously, when you're playing with butane lighters and fire and stuff, but such a neat idea. Okay. This person found this piece at their local thrift shop, and they want to add something snarky to it. They need ideas. So here is the piece, which it looks like it was stitched on hand-dyed aida because the background, the sky, is not stitched. But man, there is a lot of stitching in that piece. The rest of it is stitched. I don't know. What did people suggest? Let's see what people suggested her to stitch on it. Life's a bitch, but so are you. Oh, someone said, behold the field where I grow my fucks and see that it is barren. Yeah, that'd be a good one for that, right? Oh, that's hilarious. Okay. And that was it because, why is it not? Okay. That was it. We are going to do a motivational, inspirational story today. And today's story is called Grind or Shine. Adversity is the grindstone of life, intended to polish you up. Adversity also has the ability to grind you down. Yes, it does. The impact and ultimate result depend on what you do with the difficulties that come your way. Consider the phenomenal achievements of people experiencing adversity, and they give you a couple examples. Beethoven composed his greatest works after becoming deaf, which I find so fantastical. Like, how? When you can't hear it. Sir Walter Raleigh wrote the history of the world during a 13-year imprisonment. If Columbus had turned back, no one could have blamed him, considering the constant adversity he endured. Of course, no one would have remembered him either. Abraham Lincoln achieved greatness by his display of wisdom and character during the devastation of the Civil War. Luther translated the Bible while enduring confinement in the castle of Wartburg. Under a sentence of death and 20 years in exile, Dante wrote the Divine Comedy. John Bunyan wrote Pilgrim's Progress in a Bedford jail. And when I read that, like I perused the story before I read it to you guys just now, that reminds me of a movie that I absolutely love with Denzel Washington called Hurricane. It is based on a true story of a boxer named Reuben Carter who was falsely imprisoned for something he didn't do. And in the movie, when he's in prison, he writes a book telling a story, right? And it winds up getting published, but then it winds up in like a bargain bin or something. And these 3 people in Canada who took in this African-American boy to help him get through school and everything, they go to like this book sale and he buys his book and he's like, I gotta meet this guy. They go and meet, they're like advocates for peace or something. I don't remember exactly what it is. But they go to the prison where Denzel Washington is. And by this time, Denzel Washington has been in prison for a long time. Really long time. And they wrote letters back and forth, and then they visited him, and they tell him they want to fight for him to try to get him out of prison. It is such a good movie. I'm not going to give it away. I cry at the end of this movie every single time. It ranks up there with Shawshank Redemption for me. I have to watch that movie again. I have to try to watch that tonight. Love that movie if you haven't seen it. It is older. It is like from the 90s. Love it. Denzel Washington is perfection in this movie. Okay. Finally, consider a more recent example. Mary Groda Lewis endured 16 years of illiteracy because of unrecognized dyslexia, was committed to a reformatory on 2 different occasions, and almost died of a stroke while having a child. Good night. Committed to going to college, she worked at a variety of odd jobs to save money, graduated with her high school equivalency at 18, was named Oregon's Outstanding Upward Bound Student, and finally entered college. Determined to become a doctor, she faced 15 medical school rejections until Albany Medical College finally accepted her. In 1984, Dr. Mary Groda Lewis, at age 35, graduated with honors to fulfill her dream. I'm telling you, it's never too late. It's never too late to realize something that you really want to do. So, adversity, the grindstone of life, will it grind you down or polish you up? I guess that's the choice that you make, right? I like these little stories. I'm almost done this book. I'm going to have to find another one. Oh, the book I'm reading by Kirsten Moglin called The Liar's Wife. Oh, boy. I am 68% through the book. The story basically is this husband and wife. The wife's name is Palmer. The husband's name is Ben. They've been married 6 months and she just had a baby. They named the baby Gray. Well, she starts to suspect that her husband is cheating on her. And then all of a sudden the husband and the baby disappear. And I'm like, huh? What? Yeah. I won't give any more away because it's starting to like come together now. I can't wait to find out like what is the reason. Kooky, crazy. Cuckoo, say it with me. Fruit Loop, wackadoo, banana pants. Yeah. I said that, I coined that when we were watching that Robert Durst documentary, because boy, that guy was a nutball. Anytime someone's crazy. Fruit Loop, wackadoo, banana pants. Yeah. Okay. I need to put that on a t-shirt, right? All right. So, how are we going to continue to unfuck ourselves in 2022? Everyone liked the music yesterday. Yeah, I can't sing, but I can make little noises like that. Oh, I missed it. I've never missed a tear. Okay. At some level, we're all struggling, no matter how it looks on the surface. Keep that in mind. That is, I probably need to keep this one to put it in my junk journal for sure. Because absolutely, you know, I think, you know, sometimes that people come on here and see the kind of life I lead or the things I'm able to buy and Bill's wonderful husband and think that I have it made in the shade. Well, everyone has some kind of challenge or struggle. There is no doubt about it. And that's why my new motto, be kind or be quiet. Yeah. Keep that in mind when you're ready to, you know, think you know something about somebody. That's a good one. I like that one. That's a really good one. Yeah, we're all struggling. I mean, we all need to give ourselves and each other grace, you know, with things. Okay. I'm going to end this here. I hope you guys all have a fantastic Wednesday. As always, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section below, and I will answer them to the best of my ability. Thank you so much for spending some of your time with me today, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.